Welcome back to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. Thank y'all for joining us once again. What is going on, Dom?
Listen, I am feeling better. Still a little congested. But I feel like I always talk nasally a little bit anyway, mainly because of these sinus.
Yeah, because somebody was in the comments like, Dom, go get some sleep.
Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all, listen, adjusting to my work life again, teaching is crazy. Let me tell you how I got my ass beat today, friend.
Go ahead. Tell the story.
Nigga. Okay, listen, y'all know how I said last week, educators are overworked and underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you something. Still wouldn't trade it for the world. Like trying to help children, trying to, make them better versions of themselves, working with them, trying to create structure in their lives. We need y'all parents' helps a lot. Like getting on a game plan. Like, what are we going to do together collectively to make this work together? Because it can't just be here and then they go home and run amok and then in class. Anyway, I say all that to say. So it's one kid in particular, and he has more of ADHD, probably more than autism. And I'm figuring out as you're getting to know kids and spending a lot of time, who can say words, who understands words versus who can't. Now, he cannot sit still for more than 5 minutes, like at all, and probably needs to be medicated. And I know people don't want to do that to their children, but I think at this age, you should consider it because of how disruptive it is for not even him. It's a disservice to him too, because you want to do better, you want to learn. And one of the people that came into the classroom yesterday was like, oh my God, like, I mean, I know they're still kind of running around, but the class that they was in last year, the teacher just kind of gave up hope on them, like, because it was not a lot of help and whatnot. So it is still chaos. It was his birthday today. And let me tell you.
He didn't know it's his birthday?
Listen, he knew at the end of the day when people kept singing happy birthday, he wanted to keep singing it to him. And his mom had brought like cupcakes and stuff for the classroom. But he just had a hard time, and like from 8 o'clock. So he'll take his shoes off, his socks and shoes off, start running, all of the stuff, climbing on stuff where he can really get hurt. Him and his brother and like another kid will do that. And so we're trying to get them down. And so yesterday I did yell at him and it scared the shit out of him. And I know that because he said when he was trying to hit me yesterday, when he was hitting and kicking, and I was like, kind of putting a little pressure on him, saying, calm body, you can't hit me. I don't want to be hitting all this stuff. It hurts. And he's like, okay. So that's the first time I really heard him talk clearly. And I said, now say you sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, snap. So he was talking for real.
He was talking. So today, same thing, him yelling, doing too much. So he kind of kicked and screamed. Y'all, the secretary of the school came in and was like, oh my God, Miss Dominique, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't give a damn about these. Like, listen, I don't give a damn. He kick and scream. But what you're not about to do is like run him up. Like you're gonna have to do this over here. You can act a fool. You could be aggressive, which he wasn't always aggressive. He started that shit last week. But yeah, it's just been a journey. But that little nigga beat my ass, y'all, and that's only because I couldn't hit him back. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I mean, he got me in my chest real quick. I was like, thank God for that new inhaler, and then he kind of got me in my abdomen kicking because it was like real quick. And I was like, whew, Jesus, you lucky. You lucky we can't hit y'all back. But like, I just put a little pressure to get him together. But then I'm telling you, like, probably within the next hour, he was all in my face trying to communicate something to me via his brother's iPad, like words. And he kept taking my fingers and was like pressing the button, spelling out stuff. But he kept spelling sad. And I was like, okay, so I said, why you sad? It's your birthday. He's like, no, like he was getting upset. I'm like, but you keep saying sad. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep asking you, are you sad or why are you sad? And then he's like, no. And so I was like, so he's talking again. So now he's spelling something else. And I'm like, are you trying to spell? Because it was like C-E. And I'm like, are you trying to spell cereal? Celery? What is it that you need? And baby, he was so frustrated with me. He started crying. I'm like, well, we just gonna be frustrated with each other. So that's been my day. At least the other boy, I figured out drawstrings are the trick to keep him to keep his penis in his pants.
They just tie him up so you can't get him down.
Oh, baby, you would have thought I put my foot on his belly. How tight I had them damn pants, couldn't get him down.
He was like,
I had to help the teacher today get the knot out to change his diaper. I said, "Now I ain't mean to knot him, but
you just try to hold it down for you. Won't have to.
I ain't got time." At the end of the day, I stayed an extra 15 minutes that I ain't get paid for to Lysol everything. Okay, you got dick juice, snot juice. You know, people be sneak like I'm like this. I'm wearing my mask in that classroom until the end of time. Okay,
for the foreseeable future.
Yes, because just kids be nasty, dropping stuff on the floor, putting their hands in their But how are you?
Enough good. It's nothing too much been going on. I mean, Xander made a little girl cry this past weekend at her tournament.
Panda.
Yeah, she knocked her down and like then the little girl like pushed her down and then she gonna jump up and like I ain't had nothing to do with it and put her hands up and walked away from the ref like I ain't had nothing to do with it and then the ref gave the other girl a yellow card.
Okay, so is that like a technical?
Yeah, for the other girl, but Xander was fucking with her though. Like,
okay,
it's just he caught the other girl like trying to get back at her.
That's always.
But she was fucking with him though. But she was definitely fucking with her. That's for sure. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh no, my baby didn't. No, she was fucking with her.
Of course she was. She a Virgo.
Yeah, she was fucking with her, giving her a hard time, man. All right, let's jump into it, Dom. So. Before people saying that we need to let people know when we talking about reasonable doubt. So go on, we have it in the show notes. You can skip to the next topic if you have not seen the season 3 finale of Reasonable Doubt. Just skip forward. You can click the little thing in there, skip forward. So you and then come back later on and listen to that recap. All right, Dom. Season 3 finale of Reasonable Doubt. What was your thoughts?
Baby, look. Talk about a fucking plot twist. Because how did we...
in the middle of the show, I was like, I think he's gonna kill himself.
No. Okay. So we're starting there. Let's start there. Let me stay focused.
Yeah.
Because the plot twist.
That's the big thing is that when Ozzy killed himself or OD'd on accident.
I see how you got there.
He had nothing else. I thought he did it on purpose, kind of, because he ain't had nothing else to live for. His girl that he loved has been killed. All his family is shitty.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to be here for real?
I think that definitely on purpose, and I think that. Now, like that, we see what happened with, like now it's like the first scene from this season. Now we see it full out. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting because, like, I almost kind of forgot because, like, I know we brought it up in one of the episodes, and I was like, "Oh, what if it's something with her mom? Because it's her mom." Which also, sidebar, I just want to say, so we just not gonna revisit your mom and see your mom again post surgery. I don't like that, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not even mad at it just because, but also it. I think some people wanted Ozzy to kind of have this like redemption story.
I can see that.
Yeah, where but it's not like each season there's like the cases continue on, but it would have been nice to kind of see it where he might have been integrated in like a few episodes in the upcoming season, just because he and Jax, when she broke through, that door, that, they were really close and they had a really great relationship. But clearly, to a certain extent, it's still gonna carry on once we talk. I'm not gonna jump ahead, but it will, to a certain extent, still carry on. I felt bad that he couldn't see or feel what Jax and, and I'm even go as far as like her family, what they could see in him for himself.
But you gotta think he's got so many years of pain.
Yes, and I do understand that, and you were working through that. You was going to therapy and everything. But I think also, and it might not. Here's the thing too: it might not necessarily been on purpose. It's just that he has had so many drugs in his body that his body finally gave out. Yeah, I'm like, because the stuff that his homeboy gave him, it wasn't like it was a lot.
See, I'm what if they was giving him on purpose? It was like some bad drugs, like some fentanyl. Do you remember this? This is LA now. Yeah. Remember all these people getting messed up in the game with these bad drugs.
Yeah, no, that's true. I have a friend that lost his life to that.
Yeah. Your one boy did, yeah. Like, I'm just saying those things that could have, and maybe his boy didn't do it on purpose or not, but I'm saying that was just a regular small bag. That small bag shouldn't have killed him.
But exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think, but also it just could have been that it was just his body gave out on him. That's a possibility too, and it's just overall kind of sad that we'll never see his redemption story. But what we do find out is, because we, started to look at the sister and say, hey, like, did you do something? Because, we're going back over the evidence that was found, in this court case, that she had this blunt force trauma to the back of her head. And then she had this gunshot wound. After the fact, and we were like, okay, what happened?
She was asphyxiated. Remember, that's the thing. They was like, we all know how she died because all these three things happened so suddenly behind each other.
Yep. And so we ultimately get to see what happened in the case of Wendy, and you find out that there was a kind of a confrontation between, Wendy and the sister a little bit. But ultimately, you find out it is the daddy.
Which I said that too. Some episodes like, fuck around and be the daddy.
And it's so interesting because we never even revisited the daddy. We never really got on the daddy at all. Outside of them, which is a weird plot hole regarding that video where they had altered to make it look like he was having an affair with Wendy.
But the thing though is that he knew the thing we did learn. He knew about it before they told him about it too.
Okay.
Because remember he was that's why they was arguing. He's like, so remember, show me how you was riding them then. That's what he said to her. Remember, he was like,
yeah.
So that was the thing, is that was one thing that we did not know, that Jackson and them thought that they told him and gave him that. He knew that already. He just didn't let them know. That's why they argued.
Okay. No, because I was like, that was totally like the wife totally said that was altered, right? Like,
he didn't know it was altered though.
Yes.
He thought it was real.
Right. Yes, Ozzy did. But
Ozzy thought it was real.
Yes. So, but even still, we just never went back to it. But ultimately, we see that it's really the daddy that did this to Wendy because they just wanted her gone. Like they tried paying her off. And then ultimately, Wendy escapes because they did have Wendy tied up. But when Ozzy comes, Ozzy's so high that he, completely passes out. And while the sister is taking care of Ozzy, the daddy realizes that old girl has like gotten up and, you know, is running through the forest, you know, and shoots at her. He sees the friend, and which is so crazy to me that the friend was really trying to blackmail this nigga, as if the sister said, like, oh, we got your back, we're gonna look out for you. Like
The
that.
dad said it though.
I mean, I'm sorry, the dad, but y'all, you know this. So why would you even try to like play with Ozzy like that? And again, Ozzy is high and don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the fuck.
But he was jealous of Ozzy for some long
He
time.
was jealous of him, but still, it's like, nigga, you could have had, you know, had a good for life. They could have set you up where you was straight and you was good, but you was just trying to be messy and greedy.
Now, the one thing that they didn't tie up in is that him being murdered, though.
Yeah, I think they just took it as if somebody just hit him while he was riding his bicycle, and that was just it.
Yeah.
But it being the daddy, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, and then how the daughter tricked him into confessing that shit, and then they had him arrested. But it's just so, again, like so fucked up because like Ozzy don't get to see justice be served, you know, properly served. And then how it fucked up Ozzy so bad where he was like, damn, did I really do this shit? Could I have done this shit?
I was so high and I was gone. Maybe I did do it.
But the other thing that was so crazy still was like how he still, you know, in the midst of this was protecting Monica, because he still never said that there was that moment where he was with Monica. He never brings it up. We
never found out what she burned.
She burned. You remember? Okay, so remember when he was high?
Yep.
And he had wiped his hands, like he touched her, like he touched Wendy.
Yep.
And she had blood, and he like wiped his hands, but then he passed out. That was his jacket she burned.
Okay, because it had blood on it. Okay.
Yeah. But then ultimate plot twist, Monica not done. She's out for blood. So first of all, I want to just say sidebar. You know, we could briefly talk about Billy, Bobby, the white boy.
You talking about just a Tommy from the Power?
Okay, I think his name was Billy in here. Whatever.
I think it's Billy.
Yeah, it was Bill. It was Bill.
Yeah, Tommy from Power.
Bill was kind of like this weird side story that we necessarily didn't need. I felt like that space could have been used for something else, you know. And I see what y'all was doing, trying to have these side stories, but I felt like this could have been spent building stuff surrounding Jax's dad, you know, her sister that she doesn't know about. What was the conversation between Jax's dad and Lewis, right? Where we have this side character thing happening, and Jax ultimately does leave the firm.
Her own firm. I told you. Now, this is the thing. I think Jax is the one that's gonna get hit too by that bullet from. And I think that she's gonna be laid up, and Bill's gonna have to ask her for help on whatever case he's doing.
So I do think Bill will ultimately come with her, and somehow I think Corey will come back too. But I'm gonna say something different.
Go ahead.
I am thinking, and I am hoping.
It's Lewis. You can get him about
that. It is Lewis. Y'all know this.
No, you a hater, man. That is hate.
No, listen. This is not a Lewis Stan account. I have a post on Instagram right now about Lewis. And to be honest, this is my problem with the Lewis Jax dynamic. They have a very toxic, unhealthy relationship.
You've not seen it at this season. You saw all
okay. Of this so here's my yes. Let me stay here. We're gonna get back to this season. So I know relationships have highs, they have lows, but ultimately I think that I feel like in the back of Lewis's mind, I think Lewis feels like he will never be enough, and I think Lewis will always do things to sabotage their marriage, and their relationship to make him seem more adequate and important to Jax. Absolutely, I don't like the fact that you could say you have a hunch about something, but to put a tracker on Jax's dad's car, it was very extreme and messy to me. Meanwhile, you at work getting punked by some random nigga that's punking you into keeping your job when you're the boss. Like you're the head of this department, you're the manager, and you have had multiple complaints about this person where you've spoken to them, where you've had a verbal warning. And like old dude said, I don't y'all wrongfully terminating me. I don't have no formal write up. And he's right. You didn't do your job. But you worried about what Jess got going on over here and what her daddy doing, and you just don't like him because he's just been so absent in her life. And yes, he may have an ulterior motive. That's fine. But even you see when Lori Harvey even confronted her and found her and told her what it was, that Jax was still like, okay, this is still weird. I don't know what you even on, where Jax wasn't even like mad. You know what I mean? Like, I think people was expecting Jax to be like so pissed off and upset that she wasn't. And I understand like you got other shit happening, but I feel like if it was so important to Lewis, I think that Lewis should have been right like out the gate, especially considering what y'all just been through at the hands of, again, Lewis, who is irresponsible, getting your side girlfriend pregnant. I get it, y'all was on a break, but you knew that you wanted to get back to your marriage, and you did things that could potentially jeopardize your marriage and your relationship with your kids. And you think it's all copacetic and hunky-dory because, oh, the baby died, which again, it's y'all fault. That's their fault.
How is it
And
their fault?
she had every right to sue them. And then you gonna
Whoa. How was it their fault?
because they was their fault because of how Jax crossed the line with her. I'm not like, let's not act like she didn't. And how she was handling her, talk to her. She like, and I get that it's like, okay, me and Lewis are back together. Your conversation should have been with her as a woman. Like, I don't want no drama between us. We've been cool. We're gonna have to figure this out for the sake of our kids. And that's what it should have been. But how she kind of handled her in that situation, I can see how, especially as a woman, pregnancy is already, they call us disabled anyway.
Yeah.
You get the temporary disability tag while you're pregnant. So your body is already experiencing a lot of different things and trauma that's happening to it. So it wasn't fair. So it made sense. I could see how you could get this wrongful death lawsuit. And then for Lewis to be like, oh, I just need to go spend one night with her. She said she'll drop it. I just feel like
that's what the woman said.
No, and I get that, but it's also in that space, like you still a nigga and don't understand like what this woman is experiencing and what she's going through, though she does not physically have this child. You know what I mean? Like, she's still having postpartum, and I don't have a baby, and I'm experiencing all this crazy, psychological shit. And it was like, we just never hear about it again. Okay, cool. But
we think that she brought some of this on herself as well, and putting herself in all this drama in general.
I mean, for her, I feel like, okay, see, but here's the thing. It's like part of, I'm gonna put some of that back on Lewis, because we know there's certain women out here, and not saying she, was hot and thotty. Mm-hmm. But when you have a certain reputation, those are things you got to be mindful of. When we talk about poor pussy management,
was it known that she was hot and thotty, or did they find it out?
Yeah, they knew. Yeah, remember, because she was messing with the other football players.
I don't know if he knew. No, he didn't know that.
Yeah, he met
her at the party. Yeah, but he didn't know
at the party with all these other girls. But she already had a baby by, like, if I'm not mistaken, by like somebody, like some other athlete. Wasn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that I don't know.
Remember, because
I don't
when
know
they
if he knew that she had messed with Homeboy though. I don't think he knew that Lewis knew that originally. I think he thought he met a cute chick at the party, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you at the school too, right? I seen you around." That's all I think he knew.
But
So
I'm
you're getting a
saying,
lot
like,
of
you had no, I'm sorry, like I just, for Lewis to be so smart, he can't be that dumb.
I mean, that's easy. I mean,
no.
why? How would he know?
It's
He's
poor
not cool
dick
with that dude.
management. It's poor dick management, and I know y'all gonna try. You just so hard on Lewis. Yeah, I am. Because
So Jax ain't got shit. Jax be on some bullshit too.
Jax do be on, but like I said, that's why I said they're toxic together, and they don't need to be together.
No, she needs to be the one to get shot.
No, it should be. I think it'll be Lewis, and I think Lewis will ultimately jump in front of the bullet, and he can go right along with his terrible ass Folox. Okay,
you wrong.
That's all.
Man.
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the Game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Ifs.
So you think
like
he should
you
die?
got all this smoke for Jackson's daddy, and you getting punked on your fucking job, and you let that nigga like out you in front of like your boss about like the sisters that you were not. That should have been the first thing you told you, like, hey, nigga, you don't have.
I'm just saying, look, I'm saying it should be Jax getting hit so you can kind of transition and do some other different things for a second.
Listen. Honestly, I'm just happy that Jax finally got out of there because I thought she was gonna start her own firm last season.
Yeah,
I totally thought it was gonna happen last season, but this season I'm happy because now we ain't got seeing fun looking white boys no more. And yeah, but I think it's gonna be Lewis. Interested to see what's happening with her dad for real when she questions him about, if it gets there, so if she don't get hit, and just, so she could be like, so I met my sister and this is what she said, so what's going on, so they can really figure it out. Because I think like clearly it's for that girl, it's for the sister, and she just lying. We know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Does she got a gambling problem? You got a drug problem? If you got some Zendaya type shit where you owe the drug lord some money? Like, what is it? Did you do something crazy? Like, are you prostituting? You got a pimp? What's happening?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. I mean, that's a good lead.
I still think, I can't be mad at the daddy for asking, like ultimately gonna get to the point to ask her if it's something like that. But it's like, also, it's like, I'm with the daddy. It's like you trailing me and all of this stuff, wanting to know, what I'm doing and whatnot, but you need to go find your own business. You being messy. And I felt like that was very messy of Lewis to put that tracker on that man car. Like that shit was weird.
No, that was super messy. It was super messy.
And that's why, and I was happy that Jax was like, wait, you did what? You tracked my dad? Like, do you know how crazy you sound? Like, you can't be that bored. Like, you got problems at work, bro. You got a problem on your job that could get you, like, that can fuck with your credibility on what y'all do. I'm sorry, I just don't like Lewis.
I see the hate is strong for Lewis, man. I
just don't like Lewis.
I didn't know we dislike Lewis in the streets like this.
Man, him and them terrible faux lies can go to Hades for me. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be Jax, just because it could slow her down and make her have to reevaluate her as an attorney or whatever. And I could see Bill having to come to her at the house to try to help him out with some case that he's got and everything, and he realizing that everything ain't sweet with him being a partner now.
Yeah, because it requires some level of work, and I think that Bill has some good points. like how he was like, I'm not sure if we should put Ozzy on the stand because of XYZ, like, and when he was pushing back on different stuff, like I get it. But he also learned a lot too. It's just like, he learned about that game of Risk and how to really like, hey, I just gotta, try my luck. Like I can't always play it safe. So
yeah, so man, let us know what y'all think. Let us know in the comments what y'all think about. What's y'all predictions for next season? What's your one? Before we even move to our next topic, what's your one big prediction for next season? Like, is the Lewis thing? You think Lewis should be dead? Is that what you want?
I ain't gonna say he gotta die.
I mean, you just want him to be off the table, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where he get hit when he jump in front of that bullet, because he gonna jump in front of that bullet. He gonna die. If he die, he gonna die a hero, because that's Lewis. It gotta be about him.
Oh man, this hateful Lewis, man.
Dude, oh my gosh. People like me when I be talking about him on the Twitterverse. Yeah, especially when I be talking about them faux locks. They really get with me on that,
Yeah, they quit we don't say that about girls faux locks. Why are you getting on that man faux locks?
No, because they don't look good. Okay. They don't look good on him. They don't look good on him.
And are they faux locks? Are you sure that they're faux locks?
Oh yeah, we talked about this last season.
No, but I'm just making.
With the flashback. I mean, he's more of a low cut Caesar with the deep waves type of guy. But also he's not necessarily my cup of tea. I don't think that he's unattractive, but he's just not for me. Okay. Yeah.
My big prediction is, I'm trying to think what my big prediction is going to be.
Because it's definitely going to be centered around this Monica situation.
Yeah, or they're going to do an okie doke on us, and Monica misses, and then misses.
And that's possible too. She can miss. Or here's the other thing, because Naima was there, so it could hit Naima.
Yeah, because the Monica thing is a weird way. I mean, I guess you have to get her, because I mean she ain't getting no checks over at P Valley, so why not come back for another season? We don't know when P Valley.
Well, hopefully P Valley will be airing at the top of the year, since it's done.
Have they even started shooting yet, Don?
No, they are already wrapped.
Oh, they already wrapped. Okay.
They went back to filming and they already wrapped that. Okay. So I think it's gonna be something, because she mad because now she since Jax outed her and what she did, so she probably got, I don't know if she had her own agency, but if she was working like at CAA or Paradigm, she probably got let go. Severed ties, and so now your life has been turned upside down because of this. But also, I mean, it would have to be not just this. It has to be another case involved, and I think that would be really dope if it's something where you kind of have to rely on Bill, but then the show is centered around Jax. Mm-hmm. So, but where she's really mentoring him, I do like that, but I don't necessarily foresee them doing that per se,
which makes sense.
Sense. But I think that's really good. I do like that. Y'all bookmark this, because Daryl might be seeing into the future. Daryl might be seeing into the future.
Y'all jump in.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we might have to make a new section of the show for these Epstein files with Donald Trump. I'm gonna figure out some stuff to do with it, because they finna come out allegedly. And allegedly, big alleged, Donald Trump was sucking Bill Clinton's dick. And I am here for it. I don't even know if it's true or not. I am here for it, because now you got all the MAGAs like, he was sucking dick. Oh Lord.
Well, did you see that video that they confirmed that's not AI, where he was like patting his?
Yeah, I know.
Penis?
Yeah, I know.
Like, okay.
Even though I know that the Epstein brother that wrote that email says that, oh no, it was just jokes or whatever. And that's cool. And maybe it's true. But I love to think that he was sucking his dick though.
But did you hear that Epstein brother also was saying like they taking so long trying to release stuff because they trying to scrub that file?
Oh yeah, where we gonna have all these black marks on it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, so if they gonna start scrubbing, are you gonna start name dropping, sir?
Well, the difference is that that you can only scrub legally a certain amount of time. That's why, like like from Martin King's files and JFK files, they have to at some point they have to be released. They basically just trying to push it out legally because it's of the Fair Use. It's the Fair Use Act. But for FBI files, it's a certain amount of time period. That's why. Remember, in Trump was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna help release the MLK files." They was coming out anyway because the certain time period it went over where you can get those. They're not class. That's it. They're not classified anymore. There we go.
Yeah.
The files aren't classified anymore after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I'm just like at this point, I'm just kind of looking at everybody weird, and it ain't even that deep for us no more because it's just like the main person that y'all like. I know the way this country is set up. Like, yes, it's great to know who's a pedophile. I want to know, who's a pedophile, but it's like fucked up because I feel like these victims won't really have any sort of what do I want to say? Like the victims and survivors of this won't really won't see any sort of recourse for the people that did this to them. And I mean, just because look who our president is.
Yeah, I mean,
and so he got convicted of what was it, 64?
Let me see.
Let's see. And he didn't go to jail. The judge was like, you know what? Never mind. Since he got elected, which we now know that what in what world does this make sense?
34 felonies. 34.
34 felonies.
Mm-hmm.
I like 64 better.
Yeah.
That's a large ass number, but it's I knew something with a 4.
I mean, after 4, I know all of them is a big number at that point. After you get up to 4,
and so I don't think they're gonna get any sort of justice just because the way our country is set up, and that's really sad that I have to say that. But I think ultimately it is a situation where it's nice to know, but also it's time to have a conversation like we've been talking about. Like, what are we as Americans going to do going forward because of what we're experiencing and ignoring right now? And I feel like the Dems aren't doing enough, to really kind of change things. And then the Republicans are going to Republican. Mm-hmm. So, well, what is your take?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming out. A lot of people getting hit up. Hakeem Jeffries got hit up. I guess supposedly his crew hit him up for some money in 2013, or somebody from his team tried to reach out to him. But it's so funny with Trump. He's like, well, go ahead and release him. Then it's like one of them things of like, you got caught cheating, and you like, well, fuck it, call her then. Yeah. Go ahead and call her in. You hoping that she don't pick up. Or that she hide it for you, so you hoping that somebody on that inside of the FBI starts getting that marker out for you. Like, go ahead and release it. And then be like, man, please, hope that they do this right. Please, hope that they don't get me caught up with these apps. But I'm just saying, all this stuff that's been going on, Trump doing all these different things. We wanted the Epstein files. We wanted them. We gonna get them allegedly. We'll see what we get from them.
And I think a lot of people are gearing up to speak up. I know one of the kids that kind of spearheaded the Abercrombie. We're going to revisit him. We're going to revisit him at some point. Yeah, he's been speaking out publicly since like for a while now, like 2023. And maybe a little bit before that. But ultimately, they said something today, like a lot of the women are also coming out and saying what they experienced and what happened and who they saw. So they said it's a lot of people, a lot of, people that's kind of lawyering up and kind of fading to black in the event their name gets dropped.
I mean, I mean, I guess because I mean, it's the thing about Epstein that he was shaking and baking around, man. So your name could be in there. You ain't did shit for real. You know what I'm saying? Just because he was just a mover and shaker like that. He had a whole bunch of bread.
Yeah, but they were saying how he even like they were saying that it was something weird, even because what was that guy's name? It's like the Abercrombie Fish guy name was like Sam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they
hold on, we covered
saying
it before. Hold on, let me pull him up.
Yeah, and so they was talking about how like Epstein kind of even got into the position he was because they was trying to say, you know, maybe he had a romantic relationship with him because they was like Epstein
Mike
at one
Jeffries. Mike
Who-
Jeffries is his name.
No, okay, so this is somebody else. This is a different dude.
But that's the Abercrombie CEO is Mike Jeffries. And if y'all do check out the other episode, we talked about that. That was extensive.
Yeah, this is a different dude who also. I want to play it real quick. I think I sent it to you. I think I sent that clip to you. Hold on, let me look.
If you got it,
because this guy actually, I can't believe I didn't send that to you. What the fuck was that?
So you didn't send it to me?
You know who I sent it to? Hold on, let me see.
You sent it to jail.
I think I sent it to my homeboy Nick because we talk about like a lot of crazy stuff like this.
I was trafficked by the former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO and a web of people that are highly connected to Jeffrey Epstein through Les Wexner. And I have a lot more things that I want to share with you.
So he was saying in this clip that Wexner might have funded a lot of stuff for Epstein because Epstein, I guess, allegedly used to be like a teacher. It's like, okay, so listen to this. Hold on.
I was trafficked by the former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO and a web of people that are highly connected to Jeffrey Epstein through Les Wexner. And I have a lot more things that I want to share with you. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you to, again, please save this, share this, watch in its entirety, because that's how you can help get this message out there more so that some sort of justice can actually happen, but for many men and women. You being here protects me in some small way because this is scary. There are people with a lot of power that don't want these messages out. And I've been whistleblowing since 2014 on some level about all of this. And I'm grateful that you are finally here and able to hear this in a way that makes it make more sense. So thank you. Before I go into sharing more with you, I want to ask you some questions. And I really want your answers. Like, please leave your answers to these questions. Do you think it's weird that Les Wexner took Jeffrey Epstein, who was just a school teacher, and became Jeffrey Epstein's main client for his money management company from the years of 1987 to 2007? Do you also think it's interesting that Les Wexner gave Jeffrey Epstein really valuable real estate? Do you think it's, I don't know, you tell me the word, that in 1991, Les Wexner made Jeffrey Epstein the power of attorney, which gave him the ability to do a lot of stuff at the hands of one of the richest men in the world? And now this is where it's going to get complicated. And I'm going to ask you to refrain from homophobia. Is it possible that Les Wexner and Jeffrey Epstein had some sort of romantic or sexual relationship themselves? And that men and boys from the very beginning have also been a part of this in a really twisted way? Another question for you. Do you think that all the limited brands, Abercrombie & Fitch, Bath & Body Works, Victoria's Secret, had no idea about any of this? Another question for you. Do you think it's strange that the story I whistle blew to the BBC, which has now been highly documented with a ton of evidence in a documentary, multiple articles, and an ongoing podcast, it became public on October 2nd, 2023. The documentary was released on October 6th, 2023. What happened the day after? Is it also strange that less than 3 months later, my TikTok, where I had amassed a following of 2.1 million followers, was permanently banned forever, meaning that my IP address made it so I could never create an account ever again? As I continue to have this conversation with you, I want it to be a conversation which means you also need to think about some of the puzzle pieces at play. The more that you have information, the more that you can come to a much clearer conclusion. This story deals with power, it deals with leverage, it deals with manipulation, and it deals with a lot of young, vulnerable people. Because this didn't just start at one specific moment. It's an ongoing thing that was built way before me and still going on way after me. And I'm grateful that you're here so we
Told you he was a teacher.
And I'm grateful.
Damn.
This shit is
been ill, man. This rabbit hole, man. This who's doing the movie on all this shit? You think the movie JFK was a trip from Oliver Stone? Who's doing the movie on this? Also,
and then I saw some interest. My homeboy sent me some interesting clip about that.
About JFK?
Yes, the other day.
You talking about the gun thing that's been out there?
No, this is something else.
Yeah, no, the gun that the guy, the person in the front seat is the one that's supposed to have shot him. I seen people pushing it out there. Yeah, like he turned around.
Oh no, that's a whole nother theory.
Yeah, that's been out there for a long time. That's old conspiracy.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that's old school. William Cooper. For all my people that read the book Behold a Pale Horse, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's been out. Us old school conspiracy folks before 2003. We've been on that.
No, I'm a find it and send it to you because Nick sent me something.
I ain't believed in conspiracy theories since 2005, y'all.
We know.
Because people always be trying to put me on that jacket, like, oh man, you use conspiracy theory, right? Like, no, man, I ain't been down with that since 05.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you too, and I sent that other clip to you so we can have it bookmarked, and I bookmarked it and saved it too. I'm like, I feel like low key we might need to screen grab that because they might take that off the internet.
Yeah, hold on, let me see this. What you got here?
So the one I just sent you about who killed JFK.
Oh, George Bush. Is that what he's trying to say?
No, it says.
See, I got all the old school ones. I'm bad. My bad.
No, okay. So this has something to do with Israel. Okay. So this is like
I'm definitely not gonna play that if it's talking about Israel.
Yeah, no. We'll. I want you to.
I'll read this. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Yeah. I'm gonna do this.
And maybe bleep that out. What I just said. AI, and then that's they suppressing us and
right. Yeah. No doubt. All right, let's jump into this Rory from the Rory and Mal show. And used to be on Joe Budden's podcast as well. They launched their own podcast. I think it's been about 4 or 5 years now. 4 years. Joe Budden's basically figured out that decided that he didn't need them no more, or he wanted to put them on salary or whatever. And y'all, you can go research all that. Cool. Rory and Mal, they've been out there. So they did some different hot takes on the clips and GNX, which is fine to have all of those. But some of those Kendrick fans, they didn't take too much to what it was, because sometimes that show does be doing a lot of hate on Kendrick Lamar. The clips I've always seen the dude Mal hating, and the other sister on the show, I forgot her name. When I was on there. And then Rory's always, you feel like he's always kind of in there, but Rory always, and that's just for a long time, and this is before we could dive into it in a little bit and I'll get your opinion on it. I always had like a interesting feeling about him, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't get the jacket. It's like one of them things of like an FBI agent being like, man, you was wearing Jordans, and it's Jordan footprints outside this home, but it's a lot of people that wear Jordans. All right, I just gotta watch you. And one of the main things was, because he's a Kappa, he's a noob too. At some point, Matt and a couple of my friends are gonna have to explain themselves with him. I know Matt's response. That ain't my damn chapter. That's gonna be. He pledged Kappa Alpha Psi, I believe, at Fairleigh Dickinson University on the East Coast in New Jersey. And it's just, I just can't. Oh, it's.
I'm Doja. This sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
And maybe me growing up in St. Louis, we've been around, we can say Wigger, right? Wigger's around here, you know what I'm saying? And other cities have it as well. But there's some genuineness that comes with it. You're like, okay, you just around the neighborhood, you from the north side. I don't know if I necessarily got that from him, but I couldn't necessarily put my finger on it.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't be like, yo. And I'm gonna give him credit for something else before I even pass over you. He is the one that was talking about women with the Trey Songz shit. I gotta give him credit for that.
Okay.
Because remember, he was the one like, yo, Trey Songz been. He was one of the first people whistleblowing on that. Now I don't know what that means. You know what they say? What you say? Like a clock is, right twice a day if it's sitting there wrong. So he comes out. Long story short, he comes out. There comes out with tweets. Them Kendrick fans went back and gotten the background, gotten them tweets pulled up from Rory and what he said about black women. Now, we know how the Twitterverse was back in them early aughts. Even though at this point, when this was all going down, D Fry had already kind of fell back off Twitter. I'm one of the first adopters of Twitter back in 2008. That's when it was a real wild, wild west. It was like at the OK Corral back then. People were getting blocked by Terry McMillan. Shout out to Stacy, who got Stacy from 90s, who got blocked by Terry McMillan by saying all her characters look like they supposed to be getting beat on.
Marion blocked me. I still don't know why.
See, but that was the wild. That's 08, 09 at the beginning. That's the real wild was. These tweets from Rory are 2013, 2016.
Yeah.
But as I pull up these tweets, go ahead and give me your thoughts as I pull up these tweets.
It's honestly, I'm not gonna say it's shocking, right?
It's not shocking. There you go.
Because for me, I'm thinking about Joe Budden and how Joe Budden is, kind of to a certain extent like a little incel-ish, very kind of red pill. That's why I'm just so confused. Like clearly Mark Lamont is on the show because he wants a bag. Because Mark Lamont Hill,
he elevates that show though.
Yeah, I'm like Mark Lamont Hill is the voice of reason, and they're also doing it from a standpoint like because they could do stuff for each other. Like you paying him, and then ultimately y'all hoping that the people that rock with Mark Lamont Hill will tune into the Joe Budden podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what that is. Like you're trying to see a jump of your numbers. Your numbers have probably been like stagnant or the same number, which is not bad for Joe Budden, at all, considering, you had one song and that's no shade. But he does really great numbers as far as people that tune into that show. And so when it came out that Rory and Mal had very questionable tweets, I was like, oh yeah, this is not shocking because they rolled with Joe Budden. Are we really surprised? And this is 2013. Do your black ass mother and grandmother know you don't like black women? And then he retweeted that and said nope. And they said y'all all love black women, and he retweeted that in 2014 and said nah. And then he retweeted another one in 2014. I've never seen a good looking black woman. And then as far as somebody said they did a clip from, I guess, the latest show. And they said Rory and Mal saying that the tweets are and retweets were fake. And they was like, literally, somebody said literally not one tweet was fake. And then they said Joe Budden podcast react to Rory's resurfaced tweets and Twitter Spaces apology. Rory's 4-hour Spaces rant was a masterclass in how
that was where I could have got actually past the tweets and stuff. It was the clips of me and him in that goddamn Twitter space. Number one, you should never go to Twitter Spaces at all. That's number one if you're trying to implement some hot shit. So that's like, why would you even go there in general? And that's, to me, that's some weirdo shit, because that's the same shit with Clubhouse. People were like, oh, we stopped doing Clubhouse, but now y'all over here doing Twitter Spaces. Fine, whatever. And I'm not talking about for regular people to do Twitter Spaces. I'm talking about if you're got this podcast, discuss it on your podcast. Why are you even going into Twitter Spaces? But he was super condescending those black women. He was super condescending them black women in that bad boy, and he was super like laughing at them and smirking, all kind of shit in there. And I was always like, I knew exactly who the fuck you were. Like, I was wanting to let him pass it with them old tweets. It's 10, 12 years ago, whatever. I may think you fucked up all that, but it's the fact that the way he interacted with those black women and didn't even want to apologize at first until niggas start coming after him. That's when I was like, you got it. You got it. Just because you enter our space don't mean you a part of this space, bro. And that's something, and that's his friends too. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking at them noobs that's at Fairleigh Dickinson too, because he learned all this shit from somewhere thinking it was cool in general for somebody. I don't know who it is.
And Mona Love said, accountability matters, especially when you benefit from Black culture. And Rory should have addressed it on his own platform instead of doubling down in the moment. And that's how I feel. And it's one of those things where when we talk about, because it was so funny is that I actually was going to send you this song that I was listening to on Spotify, so you can look it up on Apple. And it's by hold on, let me pull it up because I sent it to my home where I was like, girl, this song is taking
and not just the noobs too, but as you're looking at them, not just the noobs there, his other friends, all these other somewhere along the line, he thought it was comfortable with because being in our space, being able to talk about Black women like that, even in the past. At some point, I don't know who it was. Like as I thought about it, it's not on y'all noobs, because I don't know what y'all situation was with him. But I'm talking about the friends. Someone gave him a pass.
Oh, absolutely. But this is when we go back to how people, people get sick of certain commentary that happens on the internet, and when Black people, and more so in particularly Black women, when we get online and share the things that are happening to us, the things that people are saying to us, when we be minding our Black ass business. And people want to discredit or say we're over, like we're exaggerating, and that it's not true. And it's like
so. Let me full disclosure. I don't think that brother's racist. I'll say that. I'll say he's tone deaf, one, and he may have some little bit of bigotry in him as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's too comfortable in our house. And that's on us.
But that goes back to, okay, so when we talk about
we'll always let people get too comfortable.
But this is what happens when we allow non-Black people to infiltrate our spaces, because a Tupac song, or you grew up listening to Wu-Tang and De La Soul or whatever, right? And so it's like, oh, that cat cool. And then they get real comfortable, and like, this also lets me know that he's comfortable enough where I know this nigga say the N-word. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Ooh,
he says nigga. Nigga.
I was wondering that.
No, I remember being in high school, and it was this one dude, and I remember this dude, Christian, said, I can't fuck with old dude because he was listening to something, and that nigga's low. He said that white boy clean out said nigga, and I turned that shit. So we trying to like tell him he can't say it, and he's like, but it's in the no nigga. I don't give a fuck if it was written in the sky. You cannot. No, we're not comfortable with you saying that, because next thing you know, you turn around and saying that shit, and you say nigga to me. Or you gonna call your girlfriend a nigga bitch? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is really weird.
He's married to a Black woman too, and he's got a
Which
Black.
Which is shocking, considering, and like you said,
it's not shocking. That's not shocking. Strom Thurmond got a Black kid.
No, I'm not saying no. I said that's shocking to me, based on what I'm seeing. If I'm seeing these tweets that like, oh, we don't like Black women. Nope, I don't let people know. Nope. Like, it's like when I meet, like if I'm dating interracially. I've had experience. Like, I always ask, hey, do you have you experienced dating Black women before? Blah 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 blah. And one guy, he was like, I always had an affinity. I always found Black women attractive, but I never dated them until my parents died.
Damn.
Do you know how crazy that is? And you really think you about to get some coochie? No, you're not. But you know what I'm about to do? Run up the tab. I have to do this for my ancestors, okay? Because you sound dumb as hell.
This is a little bit of reparations, not
a little bit.
It ain't nothing to be excited about. Just a little bit. But I mean, I just think that overall, like, people gotta I mean, and this has been an age-old tale. This has been going on forever and ever, man. Where we've been letting people into our house when it comes to our culture, and let's not take it. I'm not gonna even put it on all white people that's in the culture. There's some white people that accept and love Black culture. And they know that these are certain boundaries that I cannot cross, and I respect those people that for all those different things, for all that But yeah, I always had a little suspicion about him, and we never even talked about them on this. Oh no, we did talk about them before. I think. Then we talked about when we first started when they got kicked off Joe Budden podcast. I think we talked about Rory.
No, you didn't talk about that here.
We
I
didn't?
think about it.
I have to
But
look
you know, because I think about
in general, because I really don't like to talk about other podcasts like that in general, because we all in the kind of same field. We all trying to get our content.
And to be honest, we have content that's way better, but that's fine. Look, y'all sleeping, but when y'all wake up.
All right. So
there's something I want to say. I want to say this. Like you said, this is a tale as old as time. I wasn't aware that he got on Spaces.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything about that coming on.
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah, and shout out to Deleted. It's this dude everybody need to go check out called Deleted. He's got like brackets in his name. Deleted the villain. Hey man, first of all, he's got the thing called the pack outs where he just go in on somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And at the beginning of it, I guess he jumped into the Twitter Spaces. And then Rory goes, "Oh, here comes the deleted guy. That's this, insecure stuff. I guess he's gonna do a video on me." And he was like, "Nigga, I wasn't even thinking about doing one. Now I am." And you gotta go peep him. But he does funny videos in general. They're funny comedy videos. But on this one, he did was pretty good, man. So I want to give a shout out to Deleted, man. That was dope. Deleted.
Okay, I have to check that out. But yeah. I think also it's like, I think my conversation with Black people is, I know we are big on community, but we need to be big on community with each other versus allowing other people to come in and kind of navigate and narrate those spaces for us. And y'all want everybody to be cool and be so welcoming and we be so open armed about it. Like, we don't necessarily have to be that way because other cultures, when I think about it, and it's not prejudice or anything, it's just like that's just the reality. Like everybody else are not so welcoming and open to us, and they're only like that with us because they know it's something they can get out of us. And so now we've made you money and you said something crazy, and where people was able to be to come back at you, and just and I'm not the biggest fan of cancel culture because they did that to Kayla Nicole, the girl that used to go out with Travis Scott.
I mean, we got to keep the same energy though. She was wilding in tweets too.
She was wilding, but it was like not on some like I hate, white people type shit.
About some black hate. She had some black hate on there too.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, but not on some like I hate white people. She said some crazy stuff about, but also like how young she was, but that be my thing. It's like, do we allow people space and time to grow?
Right. No, I agree. But like the way Rory acted in that Spaces and he didn't apologize. Like,
I don't know. When you hate black women, I don't know. Like, I know that.
No. I'm saying that the fact that he was being smug and trying to troll those people and laughing at them and sniggling and not listening to those people. If you want to jump in those spaces and he wasn't being sincere and being like, "Yo, my bad, man. Yeah. I was on some bullshit. I apologize, yo."
Yeah,
even if he didn't fucking mean it, be smarter to at least to do that. That's how he didn't give a fuck.
But like I said, for me, if when people say certain stuff, I'm just always mindful of it, and I'm just always looking at them crazy. For me, it's about Black people got to tighten up shit, and we have to start figuring out ways to move and shake in like with our people, because this always fucking happens. Or like we said, are we shocked? Are we surprised? Like you grow with Joe Budden, who talked about jacking off his dog. You know what I mean? Like, so you roll with somebody that's weird anyway, and so I'll be looking at everybody in the circle kind of funny, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, what do y'all get from this? And it's just like I said, it's certain people, when you look at the history of certain things and certain behavior and how certain people align themselves, it lines up. So this was just a clock that was just ticking and it was waiting to happen, and the dog had his day. And I say, y'all need to go listen to Sexy Sulan by Mona Leo. Because she say, this bitch gonna say, all the non-blacks to the back. And it's so funny. The song is hella funny. But then she's like, talk about like, no, y'all can't come to the cookout. You need to be standing in the street as the lookout. Like, it's so funny. But but we talk about that all the time, and we talk about what's, segregation, integration, how have we really benefited from it? And there's certain things that we have, but when it comes to like this day and age, if the question is, have things really changed? Like, this shit is really chaotic. And it's like, it's always been chaotic. It's just the fact that we have social media now to bring attention to it. All these motherfucking crackers and all that shit been crazy. They have been. And it's not like, especially with the administration that we have, and we allow the people to still be, key players in politics, this is always going to be a thing. But like you said, that go back to niggas, nigging, and saying shit in mixed fucking company. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, you're exactly correct. All right, let's get into man. They extorted Matt Barnes too. So we just going to quick. Last week we discussed NBA players being extorted by AI, like people setting up AI fake profiles and then basically putting up things on them and then extorting them, saying, well, we're going to put it out there that you were doing this. And supposedly Matt Barnes got jammed up the same way. We finna play a couple of his explanation clips about this.
Story time. And by no means am I sharing this story for empathy or sympathy. I'm sharing this story because a lie can travel around the world before the truth wakes up. And although this is all being handled legally and people are in the process of being sued, I wanted to address it because the bullshit continues to come out. For like the last 6 to 8 months, there's been a lot of bullshit, particularly posted by Tasha K, and some new chick just got into it, Jessie something, about messages, text messages, voice audios, all this shit. And it's 1,000% all bullshit. And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to show you some receipts to show you that I'm not lying, because unfortunately today you got to do that.
Now, before we go to this, there's only one more clip we're going to play. This is, if I don't know what's going on here, I said I stopped conspiracy theories in 2005, but I know niggas conspiracies. And this sounds like an amazing one for a nigga that was cheating. But I'm going to continue.
This started July of 2023. My ex and I had split up for about a month, and this chick DMs me and I entertain her. We go back and forth. Conversation gets spicy, but we never met, never kicked it, never met, never seen this chick one time in my life. July.
Let me stop it right there, Dom. Why are you getting spicy with some random chick you don't even know through DMs? And you're an NBA player that's known. Like, I don't want any of them receipts in general. That's just me though. I'm gonna let him play. I'm gonna let him say his piece.
And I entertain her. We go back and forth. Conversation gets spicy, but we never met, never kicked it, never met, never seen this chick one time in my life. And then fast forward, my ex and I got back together. So I told her. She got a little weird, but she kind of just fell back. So moving along, we get back together and we end up doing this reality show. And while we were on this reality show, we find out we're pregnant. So we announced that on the reality show. And when that airs for the world to see, I start getting hit up from different phone numbers. Tripping. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to expose this.
All right. So do you want to hear more, or do you want me to just explain the rest, Don?
Go ahead and explain the rest.
All right. So basically, he said that a girl took his voice, AI'd it, made it look like he was cheating on his girl, and then sent the tapes to him, or was going to send the tapes of him talking to his lady. Talking to her to his lady. So he ended up giving her 60 grand to keep her out of. But then Tasha K ended up paying for it, I think, or something. And she got it, but it ain't him. It was AI of him hollering at this chick.
First of all, isn't Tasha K tired? You're supposed to be playing Cardi B. So how you pay her here, let's for this, and you supposed to be paying Cardi B. That's none of my business.
This back in 2023, 2024, I guess.
Well, that's when it happened, but isn't it now just coming out?
Yeah, it's just. Well, I think he's talking about his story for. I don't know when it actually happened, so he's just talking about.
Look,
she still owes Cardi B her money. Yes,
she still owes Cardi B money. Yes. So I think here's the thing. We talk about again. Poor dick management. I get it. You lonely. Y'all break up. You and Beverly Johnson's daughter, y'all be tussling.
They do.
Y'all tussle a lot. Yeah, y'all almost tussle more than you tussle with Gloria Govan. Okay? Mm-hmm. Like if we keeping it a buck, like no shade. But you gotta be smarter than that. Where you have to, when somebody is trying to blackmail you and do something crazy that you claiming it's not true, and you're saying you're adamant that it's not true. Okay, great. Let me get my legal team involved. Mm-hmm. Like my first thing is to call my attorney, who should be on speed dial. Especially for him, and
it's not my voice. You can figure that out. You can get that together with my lawyer. I'm being extorted.
And that's cool. So like you done told your chick or whatever. So now this information is out. So now it sounds like you're trying to cover your ass. And like you said, it do sound like a nigga that just cheated.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But this is amazing. This one of the first
for me, my first
AI for his advantage.
Exactly. Like my first mind is like, oh, let me get legal on. Let me get. Okay, Johnny Crocker is not a lie, but let me get whomever, Peter
the Cochran firm is still existing.
I'm like, let me get whomever on the line to say, hey, this is what's happening. This person has sent me this, and they're saying this is me. I can verify this is not me, and I'm being extorted. Can y'all look into this? Because all you gonna do, are they gonna send you a cease and desist? Of course, that's gonna be the first thing. Because they're gonna we already authenticated this where we know this is not Mr. Barnes.
Yeah.
And so I'm sending you this cease and desist. You're gonna fall back because the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn around and sue your ass. And I know you don't have shit because you extorting me for $60K. So I'm gonna take your home, I'm gonna take your car, I'm gonna take your livelihood, I'm gonna have your check garnished. Do you want to do that? No. Relax. And for what, Clout? Like you don't even know if this girl is real.
Well, I mean, if she was claiming that she was gonna release it or and sent him the actual copy of it, it's a mess.
It's a mess. But if you're adamant that this ain't real, I wouldn't even entertain it. I would have stopped. I would have blocked her. I would have sent the information.
He does show text and stuff or whatever between them two about her trying to extort him.
Exactly. So why did you pay, dummy?
Like this one's different though. I feel like than the one that Eddie Curry was talking about because the other one was like trying to act like putting you with like as a pedophile and stuff and trying to put it out.
Right.
That's one of them things that you may not be able to get past regardless of if they doing it or not. Because if that's put out there, people will never go back to the retread to make sure, oh dang, that was a lie. Dang. For the last 5 years, I thought Eddie Curry was a PDF file. Man.
Gotta be
but you just cheating. You just cheating. Man, child, please.
And I think her name Anissa or Nasa. That's Beverly Johnson's daughter's name that he is with.
Yeah, but I'm like, child.
But also, is she gonna leave? No, y'all be breaking up every other fucking day. And I would just be like, listen. And as a man, you just need to say, hey, when we weren't talking for that month we broke up, I was talking to this person that I thought was a woman, whomever, because I don't know. Well, we never FaceTime, we never talked on the phone, and this person is trying to extort me. I'm letting you know what's happening. This was a while ago, whatever. But I'm being extorted and I'm getting legal on top of it.
Yeah. He doesn't have to be nobody spend no $60,000.
Yeah, I'm like, it ain't no way. Y'all don't like money enough for me. If you want to give away $60K, just you could have gave that to me and Daryl. If we keeping it up,
Right, I would have been on her ass.
shit. I'm just saying.
So he said he's gonna sue Tasha K and the woman now. That's
he should sue Tasha K, because Tasha K is not authenticating nothing.
Yeah,
because that's gonna cost her extra money.
And like you said, how is she not paying? I just thought about how is she not paying? Like, how is she able?
Podcast, we definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
for sure,
health.
femininity, parenthood, dating,
definitely
as
dating,
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists,
Yeah.
So,
but also two people who grew up with both parents, married parents, and then you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, her siblings and my siblings. So it's from that perspective.
Yeah, looking at life through that lens.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
Unless but no, because it's easy to get around that because she may not have no assets in her actual name.
Yeah, she probably moved money around.
Yeah, or not missing nothing in my name because she's married too. So
I'm like, that's cool. I'm coming after your husband, and y'all both owe. Because I feel like that's a joint thing. Because
I don't know I don't know if a lawsuit can be jointly shared. I don't know about that.
But if they were to get divorced, because technically she would have debt. So
I don't know if a lawsuit. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, because I know if you have a certain
attorneys.
Huh?
I said somebody listening to our attorneys pop us off. Let us know.
Okay. Yep. No.
I'm interested in that. If they do get divorced,
because they would have debt, so he technically could take on that. He would have to take on that debt. Right,
but it's a judgment though. Oh man, hold on, let me see. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna Google it. Let's see. All right, let's see what Google says. Oh shit. So it looks like it depends on the situation, it depends on the state.
Okay.
So on the flip side, if you win a judgment before you're divorced, it can be considered shared asset before. So I'm wondering, is it going to be shared debt?
It would be shared debt, I would think.
Yeah.
If that can be at play, I would think the debt would be too.
Yeah, you know what? It's gotta be because you share any debt.
Yep.
Oh, it says yes. It's likely you have to share the debt from the lawsuit, as debts incurred during a marriage are often considered marital and subject to division in a divorce. Now, yeah, wow. Okay. Well, Tasha need to pay. I mean, maybe that's why he won't divorce her, even until she pay up what she got to pay. All right. Next up, The Last Dragon. This was some interesting, cool stuff. The Kel was on Clayton Thomas, and who's the brother that hosted the podcast with him?
I don't know him, but I do know CT.
Yeah, Clayton Thomas and Kel Mitchell. We're talking about the movie Last Dragon, and these are some of the interesting people that were trying out for this role in this movie.
Denzel. I'm going to let everybody know Denzel auditioned for this movie.
What? Denzel Washington auditioned for The Last Dragon?
For both roles.
Shown up and for...
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Lawrence Fishburne also auditioned as well. This was a big deal. Think about it. This was a big move. Wesley Snipes also went out for Bruce Leroy.
Wait till you hear what's next.
And which is crazy because then I feel like because he didn't get it, he's showing everybody how his martial arts.
Yeah.
Kicking everybody.
You made a mistake.
Kicking everybody in their face. And y'all should have gave me Bruce Leroy.
Facts.
But when I found that out, I was like, hey, yo. But I mean, you're talking about it's very Gordy, bro. You know what I mean? And in a martial arts, like, come on. You know what I mean? Action movie for a black around that time.
But here's the thing. And shout out to Ty Mike. That goes to show because he was an unknown. So he was supposed to get that role. And what he did with that role was it was a fish out of water, but it was so genuine and authentic.
Right.
Yeah.
I believed everything that he did
I agree.
for him to have been introduced to us. I know that it would have been a different movie with any of those three actors.
100%.
Facts. And Tamak wasn't an actor at that point. He was actually trained in martial arts.
Wow.
And his stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, his sensei was also a stunt coordinator for Hollywood films and used to be in a lot of films. He was the one that gave Tamak the job.
Wow.
That's how that happened. He was like, my student would be great for this.
He was right.
So also kudos to Tamak for this being his first movie and first acting gig.
Goodness,
you know what I'm saying? That's crazy too. You know what I mean? So
It's a heavy load.
yeah, it was a heavy load. You know what I mean?
All right, so I guess it's CT is dope is the name of the show. If people go check.
That's the name of his page.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's it. That's his how you can
CT
find him.
Cinema
Also.
is the name of the show. There it is, CT Cinema.
Yeah.
So that is crazy though, but it makes sense. All this makes sense. Oh, I forgot what I wanted to send you. We got to talk. I got a whole thing. Remember we discussed 3T's mom being killed.
Mm-hmm.
I got something for you for next week. We're gonna discuss it next week.
Okay. All right.
Michael. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I really don't like that you did that to me and not gonna tell me and I gotta wait, but okay.
Yeah. We ain't got enough time. I got it already, but we ain't got enough time. But go.
Okay.
What do you think about
sure you make it?
all those castings? That would have been interesting with Wesley Snipes. Is that?
I mean, considering we just talked about this movie, like about a month ago when I went to go see it in theaters, when I was back home at Ronnie's, and I just can't get past old dude looking exactly like Deion Cole. Shona.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. No, also like I'm not gonna minimize like the writing, but also like that's still crazy to know because I mean, and I guess at this time Denzel ain't Denzel, Wesley not Wesley.
None of them are who they are.
at that time, so it's kind of hard to picture it.
Lawrence Fishburne had a little bit of a name because he had been in Cornbread, Earl and Me, and in Apocalypse Now. He had been in those two. So
yeah, so I mean, Lawrence Fishburne as shown up, I could see that. I could see that. But the other two, it's just kind of hard to picture because again, I'm coming from the era of they already own when I get on this earth, pretty much, Denzel is kind of leaving. What was he in? St. Elsewhere,
yep. And he also had
St. Elsewhere, and then so he's like headed into Much Ado About Nothing, maybe I'm too early.
Well, he actually his first film was this comedy called like True Identity or Double Take, where basically I'm gonna pull it up if I can get the exact name. But basically in the film, his dad, he ended up being biracial, and the guy ends up finding out his son is black.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, I do. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's for people that.
And what year was that?
That's what I'm pulling up now. His discography real quick. It is in it's called Carbon Copy, 1981.
Okay.
So he had already been in Carbon Copy. So
okay.
Yeah, Carbon Copy.
So around 1987, because I think that's when.
And he had Soldier Story already in the can.
Okay. I'm trying to think. So wait, was what year was The Last Dragon? That wasn't 85.
Soldier Story is 84.
Okay, so Last Dragon is 85. I thought Last Dragon was 87 for some reason. So that's still around the same time. So Denzel is not. I mean, he's not Denzel that we know. It's just still kind of.
Denzel didn't really book nothing until 87 after.
That's what I'm thinking of him.
So he was sitting there like, damn, I ain't got nothing. Mentioning Denzel, I went to go see this small segue before we go to our last topic. I went to go see Robert Townsend's one-man stage play Saturday. It was at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. I took May Xander go with me. And Ted
Robert Townsend was in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. He had a one stage play on his whole life was called
Meteor Man.
It was called from Life to Shuffle. And he talks about Denzel in there because he was like, they used to all go into this place to try to pick off these things for auditions in New York. And he's like, one dude used to come in like, man, I can't book a damn thing, man. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, man, this next one gonna work for you, man. And he pulled it off. And he was like, man, that dude over dramatic. He ain't gonna make it. That person ended up being Denzel Washington. But this is back in the late 70s before they grew up. And it's so funny that they end up being in Soldier Story together too. Or whatnot as well. So, but what Denzel couldn't have done. I mean, maybe I couldn't see Denzel being shown enough or Ty-Mock's role.
Me neither. That's just like, it's hard to picture. And I'm like, and with that movie being still so fresh in my mind, I'm like, whoo, that writing was terrible.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and when they start making all these sounds, I was like, oh my gosh, this could not be made today.
No, I think it's availability to be remade though.
Huh?
I do think it should be remade though.
I know with my ideas. Like I said, you would have Deion Cole as shown enough. It has to be Deion Cole. Like
no, I go a totally different direction.
Okay, where you going?
I'm saying make it a TV series. You make it a TV series and you base it around Bruce Leroy's daughter, but then she gets recruited by Shonuff. What Shonuff is dead.
Oh, you went a completely different direction.
Yeah, so it's a deep thing, man. I got a whole concept for it, man. With this, so I have Michael Jai White playing Shonuff in this. Because I need someone that knows martial arts heavy, though.
Yeah, okay, that's
the only reason that I put Michael Jai White in my head.
Deion Cole, if they really wanted to just redo the movie, then that's why I was just like, to put Deion Cole, because that man looked just like Deion Cole.
No, he does. And Deion Cole could,
like I told you, Ty-Mock could be played. Bruce Leroy could be played by Ron Flynn.
Ron Flynn, or what about I've thought about this before when we talking about Trevor Jackson.
Yeah, Trevor Jackson would be one, absolutely. Yeah. But I feel like it's almost kind of be like,
who plays Vanity though?
Not Yara Shahidi.
You make it Chloe.
Yeah, I think I said Chloe could potentially play Vanity. You could get what's another shit low key. I mean, it has to be solid writing, or they just have to know they're doing this for fun. But low key, you can have Zendaya play Vanity.
Yeah, but no.
But like I said, but
Zendaya though, man. But she like Vanity gave like sex appeal without being sexy in that movie.
I feel like Zendaya could do that.
No,
because she had so. But see,
like that movie, even with that movie with Denzel Washington's son, like she's supposed to be kind of sexy in there, but I didn't.
I think it was also so much happening in that film where I don't even know. For me, she did a great job in there.
Don't get it twisted.
Huh?
She did a great job in there. Don't get it twisted.
For me, I didn't feel like she was necessarily supposed to be exuding sex appeal. I felt like it was just too much happening. Like this is like this marriage, and like I feel like that both of these niggas is dysfunctional and trying to figure this shit out. And I hate how that nigga held his fork.
Oh.
I was stuck there. I was like, oh, why he holding that fork like he 5?
You were
eating that macaroni and cheese.
All right, our last topic. If anyone, all the St. Louis people remember this, the flood of 1993. Remember that flood? It flooded all of downtown. You can Google it, people that are not from St. Louis or you don't remember it. It flooded all downtown. Literally, it was up to the arch, y'all. Like it was flooding the arch.
Yeah.
The arch. That's how much flood it was. The VP Fair had to get removed, everything like that. Come to find out, this brother right here, we finna show, started the levee when the levee's being broke all up in Quincy, Illinois, which is like 2 hours north on the Mississippi River. So here we go with the story.
Welcome back. When the West Quincy levee broke during the Great Flood of '93, local law enforcement quickly zeroed in on James Scott. The Quincy, Illinois native was a tailor-made target, incarcerated 6 times by the age of 23. After 2 trials and 2 guilty verdicts, the question remains, did Scott really cause a destructive levee break, or was he an easy scapegoat? Here's 5 on your side's Art Holiday.
I can't prove to you I didn't break that levee, and they can't prove I did, because I didn't. My cancer's been in remission for almost 6 years now.
Cancer survivor and convicted levee breaker James Scott has been in prison for 25 years.
I've lost so much as a result of this case. I've lost so much. Half my life in prison.
When the rain refused to stop in '93, levees upriver of Quincy, Illinois were failing. Take me back to the night of the levee breach. Why were you there?
I was there volunteering like others were. It was my 4th or 5th day working there.
Moments after the West Quincy levee broke, 2 barges came through, one of them crashing into a gas station which exploded into flames.
I seen some seepage, and I also seen like some sand boils at like the bottom and the top. I threw sandbags on top.
During a live interview with WGEM reporter Michelle McCormick, Scott said he moved several sandbags the day of the breach because water was coming through a gap in the levee.
I didn't cause the levee to fail. Did my actions cause it to fail? I don't believe it did. And if it did, that wasn't my intention.
You've heard James Scott say that he's not guilty of the levee breach, and there are other people who feel the same way, including a former Time magazine reporter who wrote a book about Scott's case.
All the evidence is out there now for anyone to look at, and what they'll find is that there is no evidence. It was a case built on circumstance.
Reporter Adam Pitluck researched James Scott's case for a decade, eventually writing the book Damned to Eternity, the story of the man who they say caused the flood. Pitluck's book concludes there should have been more than reasonable doubt in Scott's legal fight, despite guilty verdicts in 2 criminal trials.
For there only to be one person ever arrested, charged, tried, convicted, and sentenced of intentionally causing a catastrophe, and then given a life sentence for it, when there was nothing but property damage, I absolutely, that's A, excessive, and B, I think he was a scapegoat.
I believe that I was railroaded. I believe it was a witch hunt from day one.
Scott had been incarcerated 6 times by the age of 23.
It's because of my past. As a kid, teenage years, doing dumb stuff, and the cops knew me from a young age.
So, on the night of the levee break, when Scott was interviewed live on TV, it caught the attention of Quincy detective Neil Baker, who was already very familiar with the Scott brothers, especially James. Pitluck believes there was a financial motive for charging Scott with causing a catastrophe, helping flooded-out farmers.
Farmers in Missouri that lost their land did not have federal flood insurance, so an act of God was not covered, but an act of vandalism was.
Scott's first parole hearing is in 2023, but he's not optimistic. He believes he'll die in prison.
My freedom means more to me than anything else.
All right, Dom. Now, there's another report that said that he did this so he could keep kicking it and party. And then when his old lady would think that he was like, oh, it's flooded, I can't get home. That was what some people have speculated as well. But this is the official one that was journalistic. I kind of wanted to see that one instead of us speculating on the fact that he was supposedly partying and wanted to keep the levees going so he could stay out partying later. So there we go.
Because also, like, the party, as funny as that is, right?
But it caused a lot of damage, man. I don't know what
it did. It caused a lot of damage, but also I understand what the reporter is saying. It's like, okay, it would make sense for him to do this so he can't, so I can stay on the boat and go keep gambling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna, like, no shade to you, young man, because I don't know you. It doesn't seem like that would be something that will pop up in his mind first. No, we've seen crazier things happen, but that just doesn't seem like the correct motive. You know what I mean? And so I see what they're saying. Like, okay, if flooding happens, you know, and it seems like somebody intentionally did something. This is how you can get these people paid out. I think that is some bullshit. But but though, like I said, it is the other story about him partying. Sounds hilarious.
I thought that is hilarious though. Like this one makes it more serious, which is fine. It's just that it's hilarious.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, it's just really crazy because I remember that flood because, you know, they like if you ever get the opportunity, guys, to go to St. Louis and you see like the flood walls, they have flood walls and all of that, and you see how high that water was in 93. And like we said, we'll never forget that. Like that was something crazy that we experienced just because like it rained like 2 weeks straight or something.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that. And then the fact that levee broke.
Yeah, so it pushed even more water out. So it's kind of like it reminds you of like Katrina a little bit, you know, not as devastating, of course, but like
a lot of people here don't live necessarily right by the river here, you know what I'm saying? So it's less you, and then it was a flood in the Missouri River too.
Yeah, it was like St. Louis was flooded. It was flooded
on two sides.
Yeah, so who child? I don't know how you live in that flood because you live in the flood zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I'll be messing with that south side like that. I was like, whoo, them houses cost too much to be happy dealing with that water all the time. And me and water, as much as I love a beach, I be playing with water like that.
Yeah, we'd be all right. Ain't nothing gonna happen too much over here. We could feel pretty far away from the river, so our basement just floods sometimes. But Dom, where can people hit you up at?
You can find me at St. Angeles, wherever you social network. I have a new episode of Whiskey Soured.
Yeah.
Basically the conversations that just dropped today. I guess it'll be a few days by the time this comes out with Larry Morris. He works for Kransberg. He's the director of programming and something else.
Yeah,
but we have a really great conversation. Yeah, we have a really great conversation about community, the importance of community. Maddie, which is Music at the Intersection Festival for those that are not in St. Louis. Why artists choose to perform at Maddie, and where the city could go, how great the city could be. We even do a quick thing about for my ladies and for my single men, since St. Louis was labeled the greatest, one of the best cities for singles. Where the men at, where the ladies at. So we talk about that and even have a little fun at the end where we say fun words that St. Louis's cannot say because Instagram thought it was cute to do a post talking about how St. Louisans be fighting for the word, fighting to say the word brewery. So, yeah. So it's just funny. Y'all check it out because we have a good time over there.
Well, man, thank you all for listening as always. And like I said, if you are a member, you will get this episode immediately. And we appreciate and love y'all as always. And we'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.